Gonna solve all the crimes.
Bow, bow.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, I was talking to you, not the audience,
Okay.
buddy.
Hey, hi. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you again, too.
How's your day going?
I mean, better now that we're on the air.
All right, good.
I'm Graham,
I'm Ashkahn.
and today's question is, what are your thoughts about taking cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, etc.? I don't know if that was the name of a cryptocurrency or just an etc.
It's
there.
based on dot systems.
Dot chain. As a form of payment. What do we think about taking cryptocurrencies as payment?
I like it.
I like it too.
Okay,
Done.
next question.
Yeah, you should do it. All right, next question is...
They're cool. I like cryptocurrencies. I like the concept.
I've taken pies as payment too. I like taking anything as
we're
payment. It should
big
be
fans
noted.
of anything as payment. Well, maybe we won't necessarily get into barter and everything right now.
No, I was just saying, like, the reason that I like cryptocurrencies is because I do like taking pretty much anything as a form of payment.
Yeah. The cryptocurrencies specifically. So we haven't ever accepted anything other than Bitcoin yet.
I don't think we've ever been asked.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's one of those things where, like, people don't tend to ask too much. It's like you kind of put it out there that you accept it, and then people come out of the woodworks being like, oh, sweet, I can pay with this thing, you know? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, people would just be wandering around asking every business, like, hey, you guys accept Litecoin? And then they get told no, like 99 out of 100 times. I'm sure it wears them down. So yeah, we've only been accepting Bitcoin, but we have been accepting Bitcoin for
years.
Yeah, several years now, like 3-4 years, something like that. And in fact, we had Oregon's first Bitcoin ATM in our lobby for a period of time.
Which was its own crazy adventure.
Yeah, it wasn't really related to our shop. Like it's not. It was just an independent ATM that was specifically made for like buying and selling Bitcoin and transferring Bitcoin between wallets. And they put it in our shop because we're open 24 hours a day. So it was nice to have it accessible, and because we liked Bitcoin and wanted to support it.
Which ended up being awesome on a lot of levels.
Yeah, it ended up being terrible on a lot of levels.
Really, like one main level.
One main level.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like we got, people who did use Bitcoin were totally stoked.
Yeah.
That we had that there. We got a lot of questions about it, and even
Sure.
attention from people being like, "What is this?
Yep.
Is this some kind of like monetary arcade
We
game?"
got some
have in
press
here?"
from it too. Like, where there's a few
At least
news
two articles. Yeah, at
Yeah.
least two articles specifically who contacted us because we had a Bitcoin. Then we're like, "Wait, what do you guys
what
do
is this
here?
place?"
This is crazy."
And the downside was that people were coming in to use this thing who were coming in to use an ATM and were not really like interested in floating or anything like that.
And 19 out of 20 of those people were totally fine. You know, coming in, everything's okay. Like 95% interaction with our Bitcoin machine, I feel like was completely fine.
Yeah, and then 1 out of 20 people were like clearly using Bitcoin in some sort of like underground black market internet like situation, and they like look the part, and you're like,
Human
oh boy,
trafficking or like I don't even know, but yeah, they'd come in. It's like, smell a little odd, perhaps, like hoodie. They don't make eye contact, like hoodie and sunglasses. They have their own mini laptop that they're bringing up and like typing in it, next to the ATM. And
But the big problem, that wasn't even, I would say, the big problem. The big problem specifically for us was that this Bitcoin ATM just had like the worst user interface and it was constantly having problems. So people would come in to use it and they'd be standing there for like 30 minutes trying to get it to work. And they'd be looking at us like, hey, like when this screen comes up, like which of these buttons are we? I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know. I don't know how this machine works. And so and it was like, sometimes it was in the middle of transitions and they were just blocking up space. And anyway, it got to the point where we were like, okay, we need to get this Bitcoin ATM out of our shop. And to me is kind of like the way we're supporting Bitcoin is by accepting it as a business. Mm-hmm. And that's a stronger stance than having some random ATM in our lobby, in my opinion. And so we still accept Bitcoin, and I still like to support Bitcoin in that way. And we just don't have a Bitcoin ATM in our lobby anymore.
And if someone asked and it wasn't too crazy to set up, I would happily support other blockchain currencies as well, like
Sure.
Ethereum and Litecoin.
I think we can.
And other
I mean,
things as
our,
well.
our wallet accepts them. I don't think it'd be that hard to set up.
So I think we probably do accept them.
Yeah,
It's just that we haven't
theoretically.
really had the incentive to get that out there and push it or anything like that.
So the other thing you need to know about accepting these is that people just need to, your staff needs to be comfortable in terms of knowing how to do it. And luckily, that's gotten a lot easier nowadays. If you're willing to go with one of the like online wallets, and there's conversations about security and stuff around those, but if you're willing to ignore those for a second and use one of these kind of online
You're
wallets,
willing to be a patsy then.
then often there's all sorts of solutions in terms of just printing out like a QR code or having a number you can give to someone or telling them a certain email or even having a page on your website that has kind of a pre-populated QR code or something like that you can just really easily hand someone when they come in. So, people will probably book without paying and deal with this when they come into your shop to actually float is kind of the easiest way I've found to do it. But if you put a little bit of effort in the first place, you can usually generate something from your wallet that'll make it easy for your staff to just accept these. And then you would just, when they come into float, you would just do the exchange rate at that point. You do the cost of your float and charge them that day's rate for the exchange rate between that and what the Bitcoin monetary value is.
Yep, and in the Helm, we just have that set up as another form of accepted currency, which you can do in a lot of your scheduling systems too. So we could just kind of have a little Bitcoin area where they enter in the value that they got from that.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Do it. I say, wait for something to go wrong before you correct is also one of our general philosophies, right? So, when we come up with these crazy ideas, our first instinct is always, well, let's try it out and see what happens. And in this case, it's been going on for years with nothing going bad. So I highly encourage you to do it at your own center.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's it. Do you have anything else you wanted to say about blockchains?
Not really. I mean, other than, I guess, like general, you might lose them and it might just drop to a very low value.
Sure. Someone comes in, it's $20,000 and drops down to $200 the next day.
Or the opposite could happen. Like ours went up in value from the time that people paid us kind of, when we had the ATM, we were doing the most transactions because I think it was so in people's face that we were accepting Bitcoin. And since that time, the price went up before we sold it. So that was nice. And I guess you'll have to figure out taxes in terms of Bitcoin if you really want to do anything properly.
Oh yeah, and this is not a tax podcast, so we're not.
you should ask someone about that and how it's supposed to happen.
What do they call them again? Accountant?
Yeah,
Accountant?
something like that.
Your aunt. Ask your aunt about it. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Right.
And go send us questions too. Don't. Go to notdailysolutions.com. What is our website?
floatangsolutions.com/podcast. I almost messed that up.
That's really bad.
All right.
Talk to you tomorrow.